Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about moon trine or sextile to Saturn in Synastry. This wonderful aspect, I'm excited to talk about this. I truly feel like this is one of the best indicators of a long-term relationship if you have other compatible things, because it's not necessarily the most extravagant or romantic of aspects, but it definitely does produce a feeling of protectiveness towards each other and safety emotionally. So it's a really good aspect to have for someone that you can feel like you can rely on, that you feel dependable feelings towards. This aspect will tend to show that. It's really good for business relationships as well, or working relationships where, we're looking to someone to provide something of value, something tangible, something practical, and we're looking for someone to ground us and help us, yeah, with these practical day to day things. So, usually the Saturn person is going to be who the moon person is looking towards as like a stable or protective influence. The Saturn person, still with the trine or sextile, is going to be the person that's more parental in a sense, although the moon person can definitely be tapping into their inner feminine or their internal mothering energy. The Saturn person is tapping into like a fathering energy towards the moon person, and they definitely feel a lot of loyalty towards the moon person, and they feel like the moon person is someone worthy of their protection or their care or their practical actions to enhance the moon person's life. And they also feel like the moon person softens them. The Saturn person is really opened up and softened, and it's like the moon person's inner child, their light, their feminine energy, how they express their heart and emotions. It opens up their energy, like it soothes them. You can think of Saturn as like this rigid energy, right? Like this tight, like constriction, like energy. And then when someone's moon or Venus is making a trine to our Saturn, it's like they're massaging those tense parts of us, those scared part of us, those fearful, inadequate, insecure parts of us. And they're like, I mean, it can still be uncomfortable. Like, it can still be a bit difficult to deal with Saturn, even in a trine aspect. But generally, with this trine, moon trine to Saturn, it is in a sense like the Saturn person is being relieved of some of the burdens and pressures of their Saturn, and they're able to actually use it constructively. They're able to, jump out of the bad karma of their Saturn and jump into the good karma. So, yeah, you could see people with this aspect in their synastry saying to each other, "You are my rock." And that's really what it feels like. The moon person feels like the Saturn person is someone who can greatly enhance their life, even in a material sense, but especially in an emotional sense. There's something about the childhood that gets brought up here, because this is essentially like a fourth, 10th house kind of aspect. So the moon person specifically feels like the Saturn person is helping them heal a childhood wound, or at least activating an energy from childhood that they had. That is definitely like a reminder or like a reminiscing energy towards their past and their childhood, but generally in a more positive way, because it's the trine or the sextile aspect. So there's a sense of the moon person getting this like emotional fulfillment or completeness from the Saturn person, but also really maturing their inner child as well, because Saturn is still a harsh energy, even in a trine or sextile. It is still like the moon person is growing up in this relationship. Like the Saturn person is helping the moon person take responsibility for themselves and like be more emotionally secure and sufficient, and like even focus on more longer term goals and things like that. Not as much as with the Sun trine Saturn, but there is still an energy of like the Saturn person helping the Moon person like grow up and like become more secure and stable emotionally, for sure, but also in the realm of like their inner child and their childhood stuff, their early childhood messages are getting an opportunity to like be reworked. And for the Saturn person, the Moon person's emotional self and their nurturing energy, their feminine energy, is helping them become more capable as far as like weathering the storm of day-to-day life. And even in a career sense, the Moon person can be helping the Saturn person deal with the complexities and challenges of their career, of their social position, and yeah, their karma in their life. It's like the Moon person is giving the Saturn person this opportunity to clear karma and to just be more effective in their day to day life, because Saturn is never going to be like the most comfortable energy in Synastry. But when we get trines or sextiles to Saturn in Synastry, it's like the gentlest way to deal with our Saturn karma. So it can definitely feel like a very welcomed energy when someone's moon is trine or sextile to our Saturn. The sextile is even a bit more of like a working relationship. There's more activity, there's more like buzz, or like even wanting to work on something physical or tangible together. It's common in like work associations or friendships or romantic relationships where you end up having some other task to work on that's very emotionally fulfilling for both of you. The trine is even more inborn. That's like just a generalized feeling of safety together, emotional safety, security, feeling like this person is a rock or like a representation of something that is solid in your life, with less actual working on anything. Not that you can't, you definitely can work on something, but that's just how I've seen it, is that it's just more inborn, it's more powerful, but it's less actually physical, like doing something with the trine, at least in my experience. But yeah, this aspect, like I said, it's excellent for all types of relationships. It does still give that feeling that this is something fated or this is something karmic. The sunlight is shining in on me in like a weird way. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, it does still have that Saturn feeling of fatedness, but it's a lot easier to deal with and usually a lot more welcomed than some of the harsher aspects. So if you have this aspect in your synastry, I would consider it a good karma, from a past life, a karmic carryover, a special person who has come to, yeah, be that support for you, be that rock for you. And yeah, it's really nice. I'd love to know your experience of this aspect in synastry. If you've had it, let me know in the comments. Was it like this? Was it not like this? And thanks for your requests, you guys. Keep those requests coming, and we'll talk soon. Bye.